But Garrick Jones from Little Rock, Arkansas, 6'5", 312 when he played at Arkansas State. Ooh. With the Jacksonville Jaguars, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, that's where he crossed paths with Abu. Kansas City Chiefs, 3 seasons with the Houston Texans, then the Atlanta Falcons, back to Winnipeg, where he was with you again. No, you were in Ottawa then. Calgary, then the Edmonton Eskimos. And now he joins us today from the great state. Commish, how you doing?
Fellas, I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
We're doing well. So what can you tell me about playing with Mike Abu-Meshwik? He's smiling already as he sees you on the screen here. Tell me about Bomber days with you two.
Oh, man, we had a blast, man, to be honest with you. I got a chance to cross paths with Abu when I came back, and that was after I spent a little time in the NFL, man. He's a hell of a teammate, man. I love him, man. The Canada's home for me, man. That's where I got my start, and I love every minute of it, man. So being around Abu and those guys, man, it was really good. We got a chance to do some good things, man. I just wish I would have had a little more time with them because they ended up trading me out, right after the season because I had a lot of stuff going on. But man, he was a hell of a teammate to be around, man. I love him.
It was an honor to get to know you and play next year. I think you came in on a Tuesday and were playing on the weekend. That first.
That's always been my thing, man. I come to town, and when I first came in, I think it was 01, 02, around that little time, man. When I first came to the Bombers, man, Dave Ritchie at the time was the head coach, and after the second day of practice, he said, "You're starting at left tackle." I said, "Well, let's get it," and we made it happen, man. We had a hell of a run, man.
Yeah, can I get the playbook, Coach? Nah, just go in there.
Exactly. I didn't know the playbook. I didn't have teammate. I didn't know the teammate. We just made it work, man.
Wow, that is unbelievable. So, Garrick, we're following this very closely up here. Since you appeared on our show last December, along with George Cortez and Narco that day, and you brought your guy, Karan Williams, as well on that Monday, we've been following what you're doing. The Texans haven't gotten any better since, by the way, right? 0-2 to start this season. What's up with Garrick Jones for commissioner of the Houston Texans? Where are we at?
Well, I still been pushing the petition, man. But, along with the petition, I've been making sure that I've been taking care of, the business that I got to take care of, which is, all the certifications, aligning myself with the right mentors. I'm being mentored by John Wooten right now, Lynn Lashbrook. We got Rush Land. All these guys that either scouted me or have had, an impact on the NFL in regards to the Rooney Rule. Those types of things, man. I reconnected with Mike Tomlin, because we were at Arkansas State together. That was one of his first coaching gigs. And, when I first came in, so we got a chance to get real close. And those guys have been really supportive. They've been walking with me and just teaching me everything that they know. So I just been like a sponge, man. And I really been focusing on getting with the fans and really connecting with those guys and just letting them know, man, I want to be a voice for them. So now it's a situation where, the Texans aren't doing as good as they should have, some offseason moves that were questionable. And now people are starting to see that, it's just a culmination of everything that led up to this point. And this first quarter, hopefully they can get this thing turned around, or they run the risk of going 0-4 with the first quarter of the season. And that's not going to be good morale for the locker room. And that's one of the things that I just want to be able to connect with those players that are there now and just let them know, listen, man, you got people that are fighting for you. Because right now it's a lot of disconnection in the organization right now, man. So I'm working hard, man. I'm putting in the work. I can promise you that.
Oh, no doubt. And one of our viewers, Don McNeil in Southern Ontario, says, I'm a Texans fan, Houston NFL fan going back to 1978. Bill O'Brien is the Donald Trump of coaches. You wonder whose side he's on. Bill O has to go. Is that a prevailing feeling down there?
That's like the overall feeling of the city right now. And, ultimately everything starts and ends with leadership, and that's what has to happen. When it comes down to putting things together, people got to buy into the plan that you have for them. And unfortunately, that plan wasn't clear and concise for everybody to understand what was going on, with everything that went on with the athletes that are no longer there. And the fans are upset, man. I mean, they've been paying their hard-earned money. And I get it, they want a team that they can get behind because we need something to be able to cheer about, especially out here in Houston, because, we're getting hurricanes every other day. You got the COVID-19 situation still going full force. And people just need that release and that outlet. And, when you see the players playing, the game, and there's nothing to them. There's no life. There's no energy. You can tell that they've checked out, and that's not good morale for everybody. So right now, it's on him to correct his ship, man, and get it back to where it needs to be, because he is the catalyst for everything that has happened over the last few years. So it's up to him to right this ship, man, and that's what it's all about right now.
Hey, man, I just want to say thanks for reminding us, manly, stubborn men that to go out and seek help and get mentorship and surround ourselves with good people, because we forget that. I forget it. I know you, Rod, does. And you're always there saying, hey, putting a hand out there, reminding us to get help. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. You got to do that.
That's just what you do. I know that you're. Right. But let's go back and see what are people really afraid? What are people concerned about? It was a big trade that sent DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona and brought back nothing against David Johnson, but he had a really big rookie season, and now he's just kind of another guy. But to O'Brien's defense, he did stockpile the receiving core.
Right.
But
that's the thing about it, man. You can have all the horses in the stable that you want, but if you don't know how to ride, you got a problem. And that's ultimately the situation that's going on. It's about coaching. It's about being creative. Those guys are professional athletes. It didn't matter who I was playing when we played. You got to line up and you got to physically beat me. No matter what the situation was. But unfortunately, the players have had to rise above coaching far too many times. So they've really saved a lot that's going on there.
So why can't Randall Cobb run that dig route the way Hopkins did?
Two different athletes, man. Yeah. Two different athletes. And that's the thing, man. It's about being a transformational leader. Bringing out the best in people. And I think a lot of that is organizational right now. And it's that old school mentality, man. We're dealing with an entirely different generation now. And you have to be able to make those adjustments. And you got to be able to coach with the guys that you draft. I'm a firm believer in if I draft you, I want you to retire with our organization. So I'm going to bring the coaches in, and we're going to adjust to your capabilities and put you in a position to be doing the right thing at the right time. And I don't see that happening there. And it's unfortunate, because it's shipping guys out that were cornerstones of this program that could very well have us in a Super Bowl or be Super Bowl contenders. And that was just a few years ago. But these guys were playing for each other, and they loved each other. And now you start taking those family members away, man. It's hard to keep that locker room together, man. You know how it is.
Yeah. But not a lot of people know what some of the issues. But you talked about calling plays for your players, and the NFL seems to be sometimes such a cookie cutter league that you just call plays because the next guy is the same as the last guy. Rod and I were talking earlier about Cam Newton taking on that third and goal, taking the snap. Now Cam Newton's not a regular quarterback coming downhill 5 yards. So where do you stand? I like the play calling as far as understanding who your quarterback is. If that's Matt Ryan, I don't like the play call. Where do you stand on that play call yesterday?
Oh man, you let Cam be Cam. That's what it is, and that's the reason why those coaches are getting paid top dollar as well. They have to be able to rely and trust their players. Cam has done that type of deal his entire career, so why would he not be able to do it now? And especially with him being motivated, and he has a chip on his shoulder, and he has something to prove. And that's being a coach that understands you got to know your personnel. And unfortunately, a lot of these coaches, they get set in their ways, man, and they don't necessarily know their personnel, and there's not anyone holding them accountable. And that's the hardest thing about it. When we played, if you weren't getting the job done, it was somebody coming to replace you. They have to have that same type of fire under them. In order to make sure that, all right, look, I know I got to make this right. I got to do the right thing. I got to make the right calls. And you got to put people in positions to win. And a lot of times that's not happening. So he's not Brady. He's Cam Newton. So utilize him. He's a big frame, and he has a chip on his shoulder. So he's not going to be afraid to run through somebody at this particular point in his career. So you just got to go for it,
Yo, Jeezy, you're dropping a lot of knowledge here today. People are quoting you in the Facebook Live wall here. You can have all the horses in the stable, but you need to know how to ride. Is that a Garrick Jones original? I think it is.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be a couple more quotes here before we're done, man. I got you.
Hey, so the Southern Pro Development League, if I got that right. Tell us about the league that you've been running. How did COVID hit it?
Oh, well, that's the state's Developmental Football League, but it's okay. Well, COVID, for us, what we've done is we made sure that, outside of just playing physical ball, our athletes would be able to do things. And that's like financial literacy, that's business, branding, entrepreneurship. So we've really been focusing on those types of things. The physical play is probably 30% of what we do. And ultimately, I want the State's Developmental Football League to be a feeder for the NFL because we'll be running at the same time. And when these teams go to camp, they're going to bring in 90 guys, but they got to chop that down to 53. So it makes sense to allocate those guys to our platform and utilize the fact that we'll be dealing with a lot of these players who actually played the game, that will be coaching, that want to scout, that want to be upper management, GMs, those types of things. And it's a true developmental type of situation for everybody. But in regards to playing, I don't want them playing right now. I want them focusing on business and branding and all those things. So that way we focus on this thing 365 days a year, not just during the season. And that right there offsets like a COVID situation where not having a lot of people in the audience, you're still profitable. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those deals, man. It's ready made. The heavy lifting has been done. I'm looking to try to, get that into the NFL at some point and see if this is something that, would be the facelift that they need and give them an opportunity to keep developing these guys because pretty soon next year, the preseason situation it's like a CFL deal. You got 2 games and these guys aren't getting developed. So we want to have a platform that they can develop, and that's what it's been about. Just everything that I've seen, throughout my career, I wanted to make sure that we address that and have that in the league that's fully functional. But we're good, man. We got a lot of guys that are, acting in movies and doing things right now. So we just been kind of running our race,
Well, yeah, we have a lot of players watch this show, Garrick, as you know, because they tell you about it. But what you're teaching them in that league very much comes in handy now, right? It's like one of our owners here, Paul, says you can't learn to swim when you're drowning. You might have wanted to know how to do this before the spit hit the fan. And so Don in Southern Ontario, that Houston fan, writes in and says, how can I sign the petition? Maybe we should clarify that, Garrick, where they can find you and get on board with this.
Got you. So with the petition, it's basically a petition I started through change.org. And if you want to find me, you can search out the hashtag GJ4GM. So that's hashtag GJ4GM. And everything that I'm posting, everything that I'm doing online will pop up, including that petition. And basically that petition is more or less a resume of sorts for myself. I have, pretty much all of the different interviews that I've had, my qualifications, the different things that I've done in the past. And it gives people an opportunity to learn about me. And then from there, if there's something that they want to get behind, they can actually sign it and comment on it and then share it with their networks. And I'm just trying to do it organically. I don't want to have a lot of ads out there that I'm sponsoring, I'm paying for. I want to do this thing organically, and I want people to get a chance to know me and understand that I come to work every day with the offensive lineman's mentality. So it's shut up and put your pads on with me. And that's what it's about. It's showing up, being consistent, and showing these people that, you have people that are here, especially for the city of Houston. My thing is we need a Super Bowl. We have to adopt a win now mentality. And that's just from the foundation that we laid here. I don't want all the sweat, blood, and tears that my generation put into this thing to go in vain. So that's why I raised my hand and said, man, let's make some things happen. Let's bring the city back and let's hoist this Lombardi trophy up here, man, and make it happen.
In that time, Don just found the petition and has signed it. And I would suggest you share it, too, if you can, Don. Craig is watching from the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. Craig Campbell, he says, this is an excellent interview with Garrick Jones. Well, he's an excellent guy. Is there anything else, Commish, that we can do to help? And by the way, I'm using that term because Hank told us that's what we're supposed to call you. You know that now.
Absolutely. Hank is my guy. I told Hank as soon as I get this gig, man, I'm coming to get him. I'm coming to get him, man. I'm trying to bring everybody aboard on this thing, man, in any way, shape, form, or fashionable. But, man, as far as just the petition, just pushing it out there, I mean, being on this platform is good enough. The people get a chance to see it. My counterparts, my colleagues, all the former players that I deal with the NFLPA Houston chapter and Huddle Up Foundation of Houston. They're seeing this, and man, it's a family, man. This is what this is about. You know, right now I'm hosting a diversity and inclusion workshop that we've been doing for the last 8 weeks, and just teaching people about, man, just acceptance and understanding that in order for us to get anywhere in life, it's teamwork. I can't do any of this thing on my own. You know, if I'm on the offensive line, I'm working with my brothers, and we are the loudest group on the field. We have to be. And that's the mentality that I have, man, when it comes down to anything that I put my hand to and say, look, let's go make it happen. So right now, just pushing it out there, guys. This is a beautiful thing. We're in a really good time right now, even though it's a lot going on. It's all about focusing. And by the time 2021 hits, we're going to shine bright like diamonds, man.
You bet. All right, Garrick, anything you need, you know where to find us. Good luck with everything, and appreciate the time today.
Yes, sir. Abu, good to see you again, Doc.
See you, man. Be safe.
There you go. Jeezy, Garrick Jones checking in from the great state.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.